What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Ju number 10 Animal Cube, Cube Whale. That's right, he is the last cube animal in the Ju line, and he is massive for a cube animal. Anyway, this thing is just gigantic. Look at this. It's bigger than a bread box. For comparison's sake, here is a normal-sized cube. And here's Juo King. Or Wild Juo? No, Tosa. Man, I can never remember the name of these things. Here's the main mecha. I mean, look at this. Cube Whale with his water spout is the same height as the main mecha. That's insane. There's really not much that can be done with the figure in cube mode, so we're going to have to get him into his whale mode. But I do want to show off one cute little gimmick. You can push right here at the front, and that makes the water spout move up and down. Now, to transform him into the whale form, we're going to take this giant blue thing and kind of lift it up, and that will trigger the rear of the whale mode to, well, pop out. So, that's it. That's the whale mode. We are looking at Cube Whale. There's nothing else to do for this mode. It is a giant brick that, oddly enough, already looks like a gun. It's actually a really nifty looking mode. He also retains the water spout gimmick in this mode. He's got his missile launchers here on the side. In the show, not missiles, torpedoes. He launches torpedoes in the show. And yeah, it's real big. Like, really, really big. You can fit most of the deluxe class Autobot Headmasters or Titan Masters on the whale big. Oh, and there's room to spare on the other side as well, so you can fit more. It is a very impressive piece of giant red and white and black plastic, and I do like the overall look. I would have loved to have had the gimmick where his mouth can open and close like he does in the show, though in the show it looks like he has teeth as opposed to baleen, which is a little bit weird. Transformation into robot mode is very simple. Stand the figure up on his tail, and then grab the water spout harpoon and twist in the opposite direction. Then pull the harpoon out like this. And then we just take the giant harpoon thing and attach it to his arm. And that's it. And ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to Dobutsu Henkei Dodekaio. That is a heck of a mouthful, but his full combined form is even more of a mouthful. And I have to move the camera back, so forgive me. I'm zoomed all the way out. This figure is big, and I mean really big. Here is a Titan's Return Blaster. I mean, he's half a figure taller than Titan's Return Blaster. It's by no means small. And, well, you know what I'm going to say about the posability. That's it. That's all you could do with it. He can't pose anymore. That's kind of expected, actually. His attack gimmick in this mode uses the harpoon. You just push on the button here, push it down, and it kind of cycles back and forth. It's okay. It's a little noisy, though. Dodekaio also towers over the other mecha in the line. Here we have the three of them, and man, this whale is just gigantic. I do appreciate the aesthetic of the whale, but I really hate the giant gaping hole here in the middle. I find that to be very unsightly. I get why it's there. It's there for the harpoon gimmick, but I don't really care for it. It's just kind of dumb and doesn't really serve a purpose, except for kind of in the combined sequence where one of the cubes fits inside the whale. As I'm sure you're already well aware, these all combine. Now, there's going to be a little bit of oddness here. I'm going to show you the combination sequence, and then I'm going to explain why there are some problems with it. So, let's go ahead and get into it. To start off with, we're going to take the first 8 cubes and separate them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take 1, stack 2, stack 3, and stack 4, and put that off to the side. Then grab the other ones here while trying not to move the camera. Stack 5, 6, 7, and 8. And just kind of leave them off to the side. Then come over to the whale. And then we are going to grab the launchers, or I should say the torpedo thingies on the back, pull them off, put the whale off to the side, take those towers that we've already created, and grab these and drop them into place. And we have just formed the legs of the combined mode. Think about that for a second. The legs are the same height as Dodekaio. Next for Dodekaio, we're going to return him to whale form. Take the head, push the spout in, fold the head up while holding the head, flip the arms in and let them clip into place like that. Then take the feet and fold them up into the cube mode, and then reach inside and flip down the 10. Whoop, flip that down too hard and far, as that popped off, and that does happen, which it goes back on real easy. Then take 9 and slide him into the body. Come on. He's supposed to just slide into place. There we go. I just didn't have it lined up correctly. So it looks like that. And then the door is left hanging down, thusly. Take these black sides and actually grab them and pull. Well, you're not supposed to pull them off. You're supposed to take the fins and flip them out like this. And then take these black parts and they will fold down. Come to the arms just behind the number 10 and flip out this giant head like that. And then drop this whole assembly onto those leg posts. Next for the hands, we are going to first take Kuma, fold him up, and attach him to the side. And you can see this little bear outline and a mole. So we'll first put Kuma up here and connect him in. And then take the mole, fold it out, and connect him or it up. Then on the other side, we have a bat, which I've never been able to get a hold of, and the giraffe. So the giraffe, or Kirin, would just fold the cannon down and peg that into place like so. Baby, come on, go in. There we go. And then we've got just a little bit more. Now you'll forgive me as I have to stand up and reach over the camera. We will take the harpoon and pull the top off, or at least unpeg it. And this top crown section will peg under the top of this new head, and then the harpoon will peg in to the shoulder up here. And it's actually a little hard to do, especially when you can't see what you're doing. And ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you Dobutsu Daigatai Wild Tosai Dodeka King. Let me repeat that. Dobutsu Daigatai Wild Tosai Dodeka King. Oh my heavens. Wow. Not only is this thing gigantic, its name is also as big as the figure is. Just giving you guys a close-up look here, we see all 8 of the cube animals, and then the last 2 here on top. The figure is ginormous, and it has 0 posability. Well, okay, not 0. The arms do pose, and I've got to get my lights out of the way to reach it. So you do have the arms, which do have a tendency to fall off, actually. The combining or the connectors on the arms are not that strong. The only issue, other than its size, that I have with the figure, it doesn't use the giant pencil. It doesn't use these components either. which is a big shame because most Super Sentai series of the past, at least the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, are able to use all of the components in some form or fashion. Yes, I'm not going to lie, it is ugly when they do that, but I do appreciate not having leftover crap that I could lose. Oh, and also the giant cannon from Gorilla. I would much rather have preferred that they came up with a way that uses all of that stuff. But I can understand leaving out the trailer. That I'm actually okay with them leaving out. It's the other stuff that gets to me personally. Also, from the back, the figure isn't exactly what I would consider good looking. It just looks like it's got part of a truck sticking off of his back. So overall, Cube Whale on his own is nifty, but you really should have all 9 other cubes, plus the 4 auxiliary cubes, in order to make use of this final mode, and the whale in general. Now, you don't need all of the aux cubes, but you definitely need Kirin and Mole, or Giraffe and Mole. Which really begs the question, Bandai didn't bother to advertise that you should really buy all of them. That's probably my biggest complaint about the set as a whole that we have here, is that you really, really needed to buy just about everything in order to make this final form. Because if you didn't, you would have these super short, stubby arms that don't even look like hands. In the show, these look more like hands that are just, one's a drill and one's a cannon. Overall, I think the look is good, and I love the fact that they incorporated all of the animals into the chest of the final combine mode. That is a nice touch. Even if the final combine mode is a bit ugly, I still really kind of like it. But as I said, my biggest complaint is you had to have been sure that you bought every single cube. The lack of Bat or Grizzly, you're okay, but you really needed to know ahead of time to buy the Giraffe and the Mole. So gang, thank you so much for watching this video review. As always, I'm Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.